A couple of years ago, I was so stressed out. I had anxiety. I was miserable. I didn't even love what I was doing anymore. And I changed everything by solving the problem and making my life better. So now we've been in business for multiple years, but our success really started about 4 years ago. And it started because I had so much anxiety, I had stress, I wasn't happy, and I was extremely miserable. I was waking up super early with anxiety about who's not showing up, what problems were ahead of me. My sleeping wasn't right, I wasn't happy. I know most of you guys feel like that, and I used to feel like that. Now when a lot of people meet me, and they get to know me, they just say, oh, you're so stress-free, you have no worries. It's because around 4 years ago, I solved that problem because I noticed that was why my business was suffering. It was because of me. We're usually the bottleneck on most of our companies because we're in control, and sometimes we can't give out the control to other people to help grow and make the company better. In our industry, it's not a one-man operation. And I was trying to be the one-man operation in multiple locations. So what I had faced was I used to have a problem board, which we're gonna do another video about how we have a problem board and how we'll solve those problems to make our company better every year after year. So what I used to face was employee problems. I used to always face where I was nervous if the guys were gonna show up in the morning. I used to run very lean, and we were also smaller size company. So if we needed 3 guys, I had 3 guys on staff. And if one person didn't show up, it was so much work for us to try to complete that I would stress myself out and give myself anxiety over that. And what I realized over time was that there was no end to this game. I'm doing this for the long haul. I probably have another 20 to 30 years in this industry. I'm not gonna have one day ruin it. But what I did now was I solved all my problems and actually released all the anxiety and all the stress that I was having. So for example, the guys not showing up was a huge problem. So now I overstaff. Basically, I build each crew with the amount of guys that are necessary. So if a crew has 4 guys and 1 guy's unreliable, I usually will have 5. So every 4 to 5 guys, I try to hire another guy. So for example, if we have 4 crews, we'll have 16 guys and a minimum of 2 to 4 additional backup guys. The reason I could do that is because every day we have backup guys. So if someone doesn't show up, or if they have a doctor's appointment, or if they have court, or if anything that goes on that they magically forgot about, we are okay because I placed the people there before. And then when everyone shows up, even better. We have more guys that can complete the job quicker, or finish a job, or take care of Mrs. Jones, or clean the trucks, the shop, put up signs, anything. You guys will keep noticing in these videos, I keep emphasizing on having the ball in my court. So me having the extra staff also helps me control the environment and not stress out and not worry, which used to hold me back. Now, with the extra guys, I'm able to grow even quicker because I already have great staff and they're all learning and not overworked. So one huge thing that I dealt with was just overstaffing. I'm also going to be making another video diving deeper into that. Another thing that I was facing was not knowing what was going on with every single job because I was over at one job, then I had to go knock out 5 or 6 estimates. But what I figured out, which you guys might have saw on the other video, was job site cameras. I don't watch the job site cameras to see what the guys are doing and how hard they're working. I'm doing it so I could check up on them, see their progress, so I could see what they're up to and where those additional people that I have need to be to help them. For example, in the job today, the guys are finishing. So I sent the 2 additional guys to lay the topsoil, clean the street, power wash it, clean everything, and put the fence back. So when the guys finish the patio, the crews could leave and get on to the next one. The job site cameras made me notice that without bothering the guys. No employee likes when the owner keeps calling them and checking up on them. So with the cameras, I could check up multiple times a day and not have to bother them. So that's one thing that really took the stress and the anxiety away from me. Another thing that caused me stress was being at multiple locations at the same time. And the biggest thing was due to estimates. So what Christina and the office people helped me with was, now I do estimates between 11 and 1. The reason I do that is because most of the guys are at lunch. So while they're at lunch, I'm able to knock out anywhere from 2 to 3 estimates during that time. And the phone calls aren't happening, there's no other distractions. And the little bit of time before lunch and a little time after lunch, the guys aren't super productive anyway. So I'm using that as leverage to take the anxiety and also get estimates done. It also helps because if people are working, sometimes they have lunch breaks that they could come home. Sometimes it helps with that as well. The other things were, I would do most of my estimates from 3:30 on, because again, the guys are on the final hour of work. I don't need to be there for that one, because the final hour of work, they're either cleaning up, assessing what they need for tomorrow, getting the job ideas, anything that they might need. So that final hour isn't super crucial. That frees up all the time for the remaining part of the day for me to do those estimates without the phone calls, without the distractions. Driving around to each estimate takes a lot of time. And you're trying to answer the text messages, watch the GPS, and see where you're going. So doing all this stuff actually frees up the time for you. And if you could give your customers the most attention while you're there and seem calm and collective, the customers will read that. If you're all over the place like I used to be, I used to not get work because they didn't want to work with someone like that. Now the people love it because I'm calm and collective, and it shows that I run a really great business. One of the biggest things that causes the most stress and anxiety for people is making payroll every week. That used to be a huge problem for us. And the crazy part was, our payroll was only maybe $2,000 to $3,000 back then. Now we're in the tens of thousands of dollars every week for payroll. Making payroll is super hard for some people. So one thing that I figured out to help that is obviously to be doing jobs that are going to pay you with a deposit. So we don't take any deposits till the day we start a job. But because of that, the moment we finish a job, we get a payment, and then we drive to the next one and collect another payment. So that makes cash flow extremely strong. And also when it comes down to other payments, always break down the payments so the favor's on your side. So if you were doing 3 payments, do 50%, 40%, and then the final payment 10%. The reason we break that down is because I don't want that end of the job for the customer to owe me 50% of that job when I did 98% of it. So it actually helped us with that. And then the other thing that's really nice is the customer doesn't have to pay a final payment of $30,000. They only have to pay a final payment of $10,000. No one likes to give their money away. Making that last payment feel like less actually helps them as well. And it's gonna help and improve on cash flow. Sometimes on larger jobs, you feel like you need another payment to make payroll that way. If you have one crew doing a larger job and then another crew doing smaller jobs, that improves cash flow in a huge way, because you're always having money coming in and out, and that's what you want to control. I'm a huge person that profit's important, but cash flow is king. I have other videos like that, and I want to make another video diving deeper into deposits and structuring payments with contracts, because that's one thing that really helped us grow our business. With my Dale Carnegie training, we've learned a lot about worrying. Dissect what you're worrying about. What's the worst that could happen? The customer's not happy and you don't make a lot of profit? That's not the end of the world. If you're in this game forever, one day is not going to matter. And also then solving every problem that can make you stop worrying. Solving all this stuff actually makes my company grow faster. I'm able to do YouTube videos like this and spend time improving the industry because I'm not stressed, I'm not that worried. So guys, control your environment, keep the ball in your court, be happy, and just realize you're enjoying life, you're chasing the dream, you're being who you want to be. So keep grinding, guys. Comment, subscribe, like, leave some comments about things you used to do when you were stressed or worried, and now how you've improved that. and we're gonna grow together, guys. Thanks again.